Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ladies Power Lunch. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to all our friends who are joining us over in the Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group. So glad that you're here. And I want to say hi to Shannon and Lisa, who are here with us right now. And coming on in just a few minutes, we're going to have Jen Jones. So it's going to be a nice full house. And I'm really excited that we all got a chance to hop on and have some conversation. One of the first things that we like to do to just start things off is to give everybody an opportunity to know, who are these people in the room? I mean, who on earth are they? Well, y'all probably know me. You've probably seen me before in passing. May I please introduce myself? Hi, guys. I'm Dr. Tavia Shepherd. By day, I'm a mild-mannered chiropractor, but at night, I'm a superhero. No, not really. I really have a deep passion for supporting women and their business. And so we host this wonderful group of women called Ladies Power Lunch. It's a completely free group. If you're a woman entrepreneur, you're invited, but we just have one rule, guys. But it's a firm rule, it's a fast rule, and we will never step past this rule. And the rule is that we're all here to support each other. So if you feel deeply that linking arms with each other and shining your light bright beside somebody else who's shining their light bright is a great idea, then this is the group for you. And if you haven't as yet become a member, and you're probably joining us on our YouTube channel or on our podcast, I say, hey, our arms are open wide. We welcome you. We would love to have you as a member as long as you adhere to our one rule. Awesome. So, Lisa, so happy that you're making it here to join us today. Will you share with everybody who you are and what it is that you do?
Sure. So thank you for having me. I'm excited to continue to learn more about this group. So I am Lisa Dahl. I'm an intuitive eating and body image health coach, and I work with women to help them break free from the shackles of dieting and diet culture so that they can undiet their lives. I work with women to help them learn how to listen, trust, and respect their bodies to be happy, healthy, and confident at any size. I work with my women either one-on-one or in a one or on a group program, which is one-on-one coaching with a small group experience so that you get the community, a sense of belonging, knowing that you are not alone in what you're experiencing. And then we do deep dive coaching to unpack the bags that come with your body story. Did I get everything?
I feel like you did. And I love, by the way, your message. I absolutely adore the way that you approach this whole idea of body image. So thank you so much for sharing with us. And I have a feeling that there's an opportunity for you to have conversation with Shannon. I don't know why. Why am I thinking that? I want to may I invite you, Jen, to just unmute and share real quickly who you are and what you do, just so everybody can know that we have the international best-selling author in the house. So excited for you, Jen.
Thank you. And I'm still in the car, so hopefully you can hear me okay. So I'm Jen Jones, international bestseller of Intropreneur, and I'm excited to be part of the Spring Ladies Power Lunch. And I help introverted women entrepreneur build their community, build relationships on their own terms, and also bring together energy awareness so that we are not burning out.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate you sharing that. And we're going to get back to you and have you share a little bit more with us in just a moment. But we have a late entry, guys. Guess who just walked into the room? Oh my goodness, it's Dr. Tanya. So Dr. Tanya is just like me, only better looking. Can you share with us who you are and what it is that you do in the world?
Yeah, hi, I'm Dr. Tanya English. I have healingwiththeblues.com, and I work with women in grief who are ready to find treasure in tragedy and move forward in their life and get out of the grief. And part of the way that we do that is through blues music. I'm also a blues singer and have a band, and we perform locally all over. And well, we're going to be doing some blues fests that are coming up, and the reason why I use the blues for this is because I had major healing with blues music 27 years ago after the stillbirth of my son. and then went on to feel just waves of love coming at me through this music and through performance. And later started a band with my husband 10 years ago. And then, like I said, we've been performing. And so I witnessed healing with people who were at the performances. I witnessed healing in the office. I witnessed healing online and over the phone with my clients that I work with all over the world. And it's just a really great way to help people understand healing, because it's all about vibration. And it's all about acknowledging those negative feelings that we have and helping us move through them. Great, I'm so glad. Helping us move through those negative feelings in a healthy way, in a way that uplifts us, in a way that acknowledges, owns, and honors our feelings, whether they're negative or positive. You're going to have negative feelings, right? So.
Yeah, I hear you, Dr. Tanya. And I just want you to know you have a lot of hearts and likes over here in the
Thank you.
Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group. We all really honor and respect your sharing with us this morning. So we've heard from
Thank you.
Lisa, we've heard from Jen, we've heard from Dr. Tanya. Shannon, I'm going to invite you to do two things for me, please. Will you share with us who you are, what it is that you do, and then tell us a little bit about a celebration that is upcoming that we all need to know about?
Absolutely. So thanks for having me on today. Hi, everybody. I'm Shannon Daniels. I am the founder and CEO of Uncaptive, which is a platform that's used for virtual, hybrid, and in-person events. And we're built around audience engagement and developing community. And then I also come from a background, Lisa, why Dr. Tavia said it would be good to connect, is I'm a certified holistic health coach and holistic practitioner. I did health coaching for a while. I'm very into health and wellness, and I wrote a book around a positive mindset. There it is. Yay, water yourself. And so the celebration, in addition to, of course, the upcoming Ladies Power Lunch Summit that's going to be amazing, is SOW Victory Fest. And SOW actually has a double meaning, spelled S-O-W. It means to plant a seed for growth, which we're all familiar with, but it's also an acronym for Strong, Optimistic Women. And what this is it's a hybrid event that's going to be happening in May, and it's celebrating International Victorious Woman Month. And this is going to be an international hybrid event that's going to take place virtually in various places around the globe as well. And it'll be a global gathering of strong, optimistic women coming together to elevate other women, create a more equitable and empowered world, and celebrate the victories of women trailblazers past, present, and future. So we're very excited. Dr. Tavia is helping us with this event as well. And we're very excited to get this off the ground. This will be our inaugural year. It's going to be 3 days of learning and fun and collaboration. And we want to build a whole global community around this and use this as a platform for doing good.
Shannon, I know it's National Women's History Month. Everybody knows that.
Yes.
That is what March is. And during March, we have International Women's Day. And that is something that we look forward to and we celebrate every year. And that's one of the reasons why the Ladies Power Lunch Summit is always in March. And Jen's going to hop on and talk to us a little bit more about that in just a few minutes. But Shannon, a lot of people aren't as familiar with International Women's Victory Month, which is May, which is also my birthday, by the way. So y'all bring presents, okay? So can you share with us a little bit more about International Women's Victory Month?
Yeah, this is actually it was founded, I believe, in 2016 as a way to celebrate the victories of women around the world and all the stuff we've had to overcome as women and how far that we've come, but also how much further we can go. And so it's really about, beyond celebrating women's history, it's really about celebrating our victories and lifting one another up and helping to have more victories going forward. So we really wanted to choose May and do it during this time because we feel like women should be celebrated year round, not just during March, not just during 1 month, just as all people should be celebrated year round. So we wanted to find a way to do this during that month. And it's not a very well known month, right? Or celebration, International Victorious Woman Month. But when we learned about this and we learned about the woman who founded it and why she founded it was just really special. And so we wanted to get involved with that in any way we could.
That's wonderful. So I'm going to also invite you to share about the fact that it's happening in May and what your ask is right now of our Ladies Power Lunch community.
Yeah, so right now we have a call for speakers out, and I will pop into the chat over here a link where you can go and apply. The applications are open through the end of this month, so make sure to get your applications in as soon as possible because we're already starting to review speaker applications. The day we put them out, we had them start rolling in right away. So we want to go ahead and just get as many people out there as possible to apply. We have a lot of speaking slots. This is over 3 days. You're going to have an international audience. So our ask to you is if you are falling into one of our 4 tracks, which is mental health and wellness, diversity, equity, and and inclusion, community and collaboration, as well as leadership, if you can talk in any one of those subjects, we have multiple different ways that we're delivering this. We're doing this in TED style talks that are going to be about 15 minutes in length, followed by a 5-minute Q&A period. We also have more roundtable type discussions where you're going to lead a discussion on a really important topic about women within one of those 4 tracks, then you can apply for one of those. We also have a limited offering of workshops. We're keeping most of these within 20 minutes, but we are having a handful of workshops that'll be about 45 minutes in length. And these are really interactive, getting things done kind of workshops. So if you have a workshop you want to deliver, and then there's a few other opportunities there for keynotes and different things along that line. So if you're interested, I'll drop the link in the chat so you can go check that out, learn more about the event and learn more about speaking. The application takes about 15 minutes to fill out. So be prepared with whatever information you need when you come in, and you'll see before the application tells you what information you need so you can be easily prepared for it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, we
Yeah.
really do love to present opportunity to our members. We usually, if we hear about I tell everybody all the time, guys, if I'm going to be on Oprah, all of us are going to be on Oprah. It's happening. If I hear about an opportunity for growing your business, for speaking, for something like that, guys, I'm always going to bring that right to you. So if any of you are interested, definitely Shannon's going to drop the link in the chat a little bit later in our Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group. We'll drop it in the show note as well here on YouTube and on our podcast. And of course, if any of you want to reach out directly to Shannon, you're welcome to do so. So yay, congratulations on really supporting women and supporting International Women's Victory Month, which is coming up in May. Thank you so much for joining us today, Shannon. I really appreciate that. So I want to switch gears here a little bit and talk about another summit that's upcoming. And this one is happening, guys, it's almost 3 weeks away. It is happening on March 21st and 22nd. If you do not already have your tickets, I invite you to go to growsmarter.harder.com/ticket and get your ticket for the upcoming Ladies Power Lunch Spring Summit. The title of the summit is Answer the Call. And here's the reason why we're looking at that as our subject. We polled our members, and almost to a 1, every woman that we spoke to said that their number 1 concern with growing their business, especially over this time that we've been in, which has been a little different, is getting their voice heard, getting their message out there suddenly seems a little bit more difficult than it has been in the past. Perhaps because everybody and their grandmother is now online. People who never even turned their computer on one time before COVID, they're growing their business online, and so getting heard above the fray can be a little bit challenging. But you know, the Ladies Power Lunch way, if we're going to be doing something, it's going to have to be a heart-centered transformational kind of activity, and it's also going to have to be information driven so that you actually have the steps that you need to take to share your message, to share your words, to grow your business in a way that promotes ease, flow, and collaboration. Because there's hardly a sentence that goes by for me that doesn't have that word collaboration in it. Am I right? So I want to invite well, we do know that Shannon's going to be one of our outstanding speakers for Ladies Power Lunch Spring Summit Answer the Call, but I want to invite another one of our speakers, Jen Jones, to just hop on camera with us real quick, and let's talk a little bit about your contribution to the Ladies Power Lunch Spring Summit. Welcome back, Jen.
Hello, I'm excited to, and it's almost 2 weeks away, by the way.
You're gonna give me a heart attack, Jen. Don't worry, we have it all under control. Everything is awesome.
Yep, we're doing just fine. So I'm actually not sure what you want me to say. So I am going to, because we have a panel and we also have a workshop. So I mean,
Well,
there's going to be lots of
let's start with the
opportunities.
workshop. Let's stop for a moment. Let's start with the fact that accompanying our summit, we're going to be having a workbook. So we had Be the Beacon, and there was an anthology that was published alongside Be the Beacon, which was our last summit. And it was really a great example of women who are out there shining their lights, even when they didn't feel like they were the right person or they felt reluctant as a beacon. I think that was your talk topic on Summit, being the reluctant beacon, for the last summit that we had. And they really shared how they got out there and they're shining their lights and they're doing all the things that help other people to also shine their lights. So as a companion to Be the Beacon, coming alongside the Ladies Power Lunch Spring Summit, we're going to be having the Answer the Call workbook. And it's going to be a workbook of 12 plus workshops where we're going to be going through with every single speaker, workshop facilitator on the program. You're just going to be able to follow along in your workbook and get your message heard, basically, by planning it out as you go through the summit. So Jen, talk a little bit about your contribution to the workbook, and then we'll take it from there.
Well, I was excited to see the cover of the workbook. It's very similar to the book cover, which gets me all excited, especially after talking about the reluctant beacon. Well, I'm going to be bringing in some of that into our quantum networking. So I'm all about relationships. It's really important for me and the people that I work with to get out there and build relationships. And it can be difficult, whether you're an introvert or not. It really can just be overwhelming. And so how can you use the time wisely? So I'm all about building relationships, but I'm also about a little bit of efficiency. So I also don't want you wasting time in places that you don't feel called to be there. So we are going to get into some of the nitty-gritty in the workshop about where are you networking? What does networking mean to you? How are you connecting with people? And really leaving the workshop with a game plan so that you're spending your precious time in the places that matter. And that even could be one-on-one, and you're, ditching, a lot of big events and you're doing smaller events. So really depends on who you are, what you want to do, and, what kind of relationships you want to build. So that is what I'm going to be talking about in our workshop in a little over 2 weeks.
A little over 2 weeks, guys. You heard it here first. Jen's going to really be breaking down that idea that networking's not one size fits all. And so we have a fun little activity planned where Jen, who describes herself as an introvert, me, who I describe myself as an ambivert, and I'll tell you why, because I draw such great energy from being here with all of you, but I can't do it forever. If I do it for too long, I definitely will start to feel an energetic drain. So I have to have a good balance between being with people and also spending time on my own. And then we also have our dear friend Zeph, who's going to be joining us. And she says she's an extrovert. And if you've met her, you know that that's who she is. And so all three of us are going to get together and we're just going to have some conversation about networking not being one size fits all, and how, depending on how you classify, how you get energy, depending on how that works for you, you're going to be able to team up with the leader who most represents you, and you're going to be able to have some conversation around how you should be networking. So it's going to be tons of fun. Jen, you have written the book about networking, and I could just share that with everybody here. If you haven't, by the way, as yet gotten your copy of Intrapreneur, I do invite you to hop onto Amazon and get this book, because I've read a lot of books. We've published a lot of books through Ladies Power Lunch, and I have to say this one is jam-packed with value. It really, really does help you to grow your business and to network in the way that you should be networking. And I feel like, even though Jen likes to say that her book is for introverts, I have to say it's for everyone, because it reminds us how to be human as we're out there connecting. Am I right, Jen? Let's talk about this really. Have you ever seen people out there networking and just missing the mark every time?
Yes. So of course, I think we all have. And, now that we're starting to go in person a little bit more, I think some people are a little rusty and maybe have forgotten that the whole purpose of being out and networking and connecting with people is to actually maybe listen a little bit more. And I'm guilty of it too. Like, I could get on a roll and start just talking. And I'm like, wait a minute, I know nothing about this other person. So I think, I'll call it rusty when we're, getting in person, because we haven't had a lot of opportunity to do that over the last couple of years. And if you are going to be in person for the summit, I will also have books that I'll be signing and getting in the hands of everyone who's in person who doesn't have a copy of Intrapreneur. So just a little plug there on the book, but it really is getting out there and, making sure that your intentions are pure, like you are there for the right reasons, and you're not just there to, put your business card or talk people's ears off and not listen to other people.
I love that. I love tips. So I'm going to ask you, Jen, for a tip. As we are getting back into the groove of networking in person, can you give us just a couple of do's and a couple of don'ts for doing it right as we dive back into the in-person space?
All right, so the two that I'm going to mention, the do's. So do set an intention before going to a networking event, and, really think about why you're going there. And the second one would be visualization. So visualize the best possible outcome that could happen for you once you've set your intention, and then walk in the door and be ready to have a, two-way conversation with somebody. And the don'ts, which I feel like I'm going to repeat, but so don't always be talking. There can be a time where, you can introduce yourself, but ask questions so that you can also get a chance to learn about the other person, and they're just not listening to everything that you have to say.
Those are some great tips. So we have quite a few people joining us over in the Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group, and they do have a couple of questions, logistical questions about the Ladies Power Lunch Spring Summit. So y'all, if you are interested in attending the Ladies Power Lunch Spring Summit, it is a hybrid event. This is a little complicated, but it's not at all complicated. Bear with me here, guys. I'm going to break it down for you really, really simply. On the Monday, March 21st, we're all going to have the opportunity to either be at the Doubletree Hilton in Bristol, Connecticut together, or online. So on day one, it's a hybrid event. If you feel like being in the room and being in person is something that you can accommodate and it feels right for you, I invite you to come in person. If, however, you would rather join virtually, that's okay because we have tons of space for you to join virtually as well. So please do go to growsmarternotharder.com/ticket and get your ticket for Summit. Once you get your ticket, you're going to get a request asking you if you want to be in person or if you want to be virtual. Just need to say that the in-person seating is limited because the size of the room that we have used to be able to hold a lot of people, but now because of the pandemic, it can only hold a smaller number of people. And so it's going to have to just be first come, first serve. At this point, we still do have a few seats available for in-person. So if you want to be in the room with us, if you want to soak up that energy in person, if that's important to you, go get your ticket right now. And as soon as you purchase your ticket, you'll get a response from our production team asking you what you would like to be, if you'd like to be in person or if you would like to be virtual. That being said, guys, if you've been to any of our virtual summits, you know that it's not all just sitting and having people talking at you all day. It's all sorts of fun all day long, but we're learning at the same time. So my invitation to you is, if being in the room with us is not something you want to do, or if it's not possible because we're sold out for seats, don't worry about it. Still get your ticket, because one, with a ticket comes your workbook. With a ticket comes the opportunity to, I'm going to say this one last thing and then I'm going to run because we're all out of time. But here's the very last thing I want to say. I was looking yesterday at our list of speakers for Summit, and there is nowhere else that you're going to get this quality, this caliber of speakers. You're going to have access to these people, workshop style, to grow your business. This is huge, guys. We have Jill Lublin, who is the writer of the PR textbook. We have Barb, who she does everything, all things for the graphics for Ladies Power Lunch. So you've seen her work in person. We have Lori and Laura, who are all about that mindset piece, because without the mindset, you could make all the plans in the world, but if your head's not on right, your results are going to be lackluster. We have Drew, who supports us so ably with the online marketing piece, because online marketing is a whole animal all by itself. We have Lisa, who is an expert on speaking, and y'all don't remember that she used to teach communications. Her qualifications are teaching communications. That's what she does. And she has a book called Get Speaking Gigs Now. She knows this stuff. Of course, we have Jen, international best-selling author, who is the expert on networking. All things networking, you can talk to Jen about that. She knows it. Shannon, who is tech guru extraordinaire. She's going to be talking to us about how to use events to grow our business. We have Zeph, who's going to be talking about, okay, so all y'all have these lists and they're sitting, and hopefully the people are actually reading the things that you're putting out there, but how can you get engagement that actually makes the cash register ring? Come on, this is a question that we have to answer as entrepreneurs, because one thing that we know for sure is that if we're doing the thing that we do as our passion and we're not making money, eventually we're going to have to stop doing it. So how do we make that money? Zeph's going to walk us through that. We have Jim, who is in charge of our production team for our podcast, and he's going to be talking to us. He's going to be laying it out, all the things that you need for podcasting. So it's going to be a 3-tier event, we're going to be dealing with the transformation and the mindset that has to take place in order for the heart-centered entrepreneur to get visible. Then we're going to be talking about the foundational pieces that have to be there for you to get visible, things like your online presence and that sort of thing. And then we're going to talk about quantum level visibility. And this is a whole different animal, guys. And if any of you who know about quantum mechanics, quantum physics, you know what I'm talking about. So looks like you got to get on that summit. Looks like you got to be there. And I want to say thank you to everybody who's joined us today. Jen, thank you so much for hopping on and sharing about what you're going to be talking about. I want to thank Shannon, who is also one of our speakers on the summit, for coming and talking to us about International Women's Victory Month and the summit that's going to be going along with that, and inviting us to be speakers on that. I want to say thank you to you, Lisa, for joining. Dr. Tanya, oh my goodness, it's always such a pleasure to see you, and everybody who joined us over in the Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group. Blessings. Thank you for joining us over there. Guys, we continue the conversation at 1 p.m. today. So I'll see you guys on the next show. Bye, everybody.